All right, good morning, everybody. Haven't posted in a couple days because I've been feeling a little crappy. I think I got some kind of stomach bug, but whatever. Time for the morning round of arthritis medication. That's always fun. We really see our country is in deep shit, huh? Golly. There's antibiotics for an infection, blood pressure pills. What do we got here? Ibuprofen. All right. What do we got here? Vitamin D3 for the old bones. The hell is this? There's a stomach pill. I don't know. I've had some kind of... There's some vitamin C. Prednisone, my favorite. Wonder why my bones are all messed up, but whatever. I do a little pill. Whatever. A couple of those guys. You see, our president made a pompous ass out of himself. My exam at the VA for a disability claim, I don't think it went so well. I was exhausted by the time I got there, but that's all right. I don't expect anything anyways, and if I was to get something, that'd be great. But I don't think it's going to go my way. Oh yeah, that's delicious. We got a lot of problems in this country, man. I was seeing a lot of things we thought were going to be good. This administration turned around and really fucking hit everybody. Sideways sucker punch is what I call it. There's some antibiotics. Good old doxycycline. Anyways, down goes the hatch. God, I've had a ton of doctor appointments. And today I got a DEXA scan. I'm going to check my bones. I had a hip x-ray. I had hand x-rays. Oh, boy. Just one thing after another. Hang on a second. All right. Got a little light on the subject. Boy. Rheumatoid arthritis. It's great waking up with that every day. Hemingway once said, "My body has betrayed me." And that's how I feel. The same way. Luck has never been on my side. They say the chosen ones are always penniless and broke, so I think I'm one of the chosen ones, but we'll see. Shout out to my friend Kevin at Eek Acres and Bridget. Just went through another cancer surgery, and wow. I removed a bunch of stuff out of the bladder, and that's not fun. They go up the old canal there with the tool, and it's like the Hubble telescope. But anyways, good morning and God bless everybody. I hope your life journey is everything you hoped it is, and for those that it isn't, God, I know it. I can say hang in there. We see the homeless numbers still racking up on the streets. We got hundreds of people living on the streets here in Puget Sound, Pierce County, Washington, and you got a moron ex-governor, this guy Jay Inslee. He, I guess he built a 50-unit tiny home village for $150 million, and it still wasn't open. He was pathetically begging for more money. That's $3 million a piece. Huh? For a lawnmower shed with a crapper in it. Perfect. We got another embezzler up in King County, Washington. One of the county workers, I guess, has embezzled or stolen $3 million in 11 years. It took them 11 years to figure it out. Are you friggin' kidding me? The Recovery Cafe, the lady who was running this not-for-profit, veterans would go there. Anybody could go there and have coffee and hang out and chit-chat and attend a meeting. No. She stole all the money. And she did the perp walk, pardon me. She did the perp walk on TV. Haven't heard anything since. I'm sure they just slapped her on the hand and said, please don't do it again. That's how they do things here in Washington. Get away with that shit. That's why nobody's, too worried about it. You can steal, and you got a $13 million grant given to the Roosevelt Barracks, a soldiers' home in Ording, to put a new HVAC system in, and they put air conditioners in the windows. And I hate to keep beating the same old drum, stuck on a dime, but it seems like these things just keep happening. We got a transportation budget of $14 billion, not million, and I think I said million once, but it's billion, over budget. Good job on teaching the kids, how to spend money. Here's your credit card. You can go out and buy anything you want. Just spend and spend. Don't worry, you don't even have to pay it back. Just file bankruptcy. Hang on a minute. Adios Sun's coming up. It's September 25th. Yeah, I'm having a cigarette. I'm trying to quit smoking. I know they say, look at that dumb sucker. Sick as a dog smoking a cigarette. Well, that's a habit I picked up in the Army when I was 18. They get overseas to Germany, and they'd give you a ration card for 4 cartons and 20 single packs when you're 18. 4 gallons of whiskey a month, and you were limited to 4 pairs of Levi's every, I think, 6 months. I don't get that one. The Germans loved American Levi's, 501s. I've had the women up there try to tear the pants off of me. No kidding. Get my jeans. Leave me standing there in my skivvies. But anyways, yeah, good job, political leaders. All the money. Now it looks like the tariffs are there to break the farmers, so the farmers have to forfeit land they've had for generations. Isn't that funny how that works? Isn't that funny? And then you can't pay the taxes, and something you've had forever, the government comes and takes and auctions it off to the highest bidder. Holy cow. Huh, whoops. But, is it really a conspiracy? Are we really in trouble here? You see all this stuff online, and it just goes on and on about devastation and doom, and everyone's going broke, and we know the housing market again is tanked. And it's because of that I'm actually in a place to live right now. Thank God the owner of the house and has saw fit to let me stay here. And all I do is give some of my electrical expertise and help them put in a new system. We've got the kitchen all completely wired up. I got to get a couple of nail plates to put on. We got work we're doing Saturday on the electric service. We're going to redo some stuff. When you tear into something and you're not an expert in it, electrical systems, always seek some professional advice, because you can wire it wrong, get it wrong. What an inspector will do, keep coming in and write a correction notice. And then you still got it. He's not going to tell you how to do it. He's going to write a correction notice. Okay, well, we'll figure this out. And then you come in again and he writes another correction notice. And all these are re-inspection fees. I think they're $35 or something. So, yeah, we're going to try to hit it one time. So I haven't called in for cover, for service, or nothing. And we're gonna try to get it all done. Call it in for first and final. And the cost of doing this stuff, like hauling in the range wire and the dryer wire. So the range wire was 42 feet long. It's an 8-3 copper cable with a ground. And the dryer as well. The old dryer, the wire we hauled out of there was just this old aluminum stuff. And I convinced the owners to go ahead and upgrade it. Well, because we're tore apart. We got the house tore apart. And I'll go show you. We got a couple things left in the kitchen. And I'm going to show you what's going on there. So hang on a second. So you see, here's a new range wire. We still got to put a block up here and staple the cable, do the makeup on it. We extended the circuit over here because there's a 10-inch counter here, or a toaster, whatever you want to put. You see, we extended this circuit over here. All right. We put new boxes in. Because those little screw holes there, right there, we're getting stripped out of the old composite box. We're going to bond these pipes together with some pipe clamps, some copper wire. You see that? And put a new, and we lowered the switch there so they're all even. The switch was higher. And here's a room with the new electric panel. We're gonna remove the sheetrock because we got work to do behind it. And the inspector wants to see it, of course. And here's a water heater. And it accidentally, somebody hooked it up wrong or something, and something's wrong with it now. So we're gonna take care of that. Get it hooked up properly. We got to put a drain in it, meet code. It's got to be inspected separately. Hang on. Okay, meanwhile, back at the ranch. That's what we got going on. So Saturday, we will be tearing into this panel and getting it done. So, working on the weekends, the owner, it takes time to get this done, and it can be difficult. Like, some people don't want to put nail plates in. We're putting nail plates in. It won't pass inspection without it. Only needs about 4. But I got the old doctor's appointment today. Head in and deal with that. Get a DEX scan done. Yuck. But, yeah, if you want to get some electrical done, you really need some expert help these days. And we put in the dedicated circuit for the microwave, dedicated for the dryer, dedicated for the range. And for a new kitchen, you need all the new circuits with all the new types of appliances. We probably should have hauled in a refrigerator, but that's hooked to the small appliance circuit. There's only 3 plugs on it. So hopefully that'll be enough. Women go out and they buy all these mixers and all these electric appliances at Walmart, hell of a deal. And if you don't, next thing you know, you turn this stuff on and the lights kind of dim down. But we've got a separate lighting circuit down in the kitchen, and we'll get this stuff done. I've got a Social Security thing coming up now. I knocked down the VA exam. I got a couple more of those to go to. They're trying to say, Social Security is trying to say that, let's see what we got here. They're trying to tell me that for my cab business, my ride share, that in certain months of 2023, I made just about $100 over the limit, or a couple of hundred. They're saying in April, May, and June, I made exactly the same amount, $1,771 a month. So in 2023, the limit was $1,470. They're saying it's substantial and gainful employment. What I'm saying here is that you don't ever make the exact same amount. So where they come up with these numbers, these are the numbers. You can look at those. I don't know how to screenshot stuff, and that's all good. But you can look at these numbers here. See, I got stuff circled, but the other numbers, they're saying I made exactly the same amount for November, December of 2023, $23.87. Then we're back to $17.24 for November, December of 2023. And that amount, $23.87, is for both months. And that just doesn't happen again. I've never made the same amount in the same day, in a week, or a month. They're saying for 3 months, April, May, and June of 2024, I made $3,045. Exactly the same amount for 3 months. Didn't happen. Here's the problem I have with all this. Now, these are other numbers right here. Big, long sheet I carry. So, the mileage deduction for 2023, the standard deduction, is 65.5 cents per mile. In January of 2023, I drove 2,067 miles, and I have my books. These aren't made up numbers. So at 2,067 miles, minus the standard deduction, brings my earning from 2,056 to 1,353. I'm sorry. 1,353 is the standard deduction at 2,067 miles. So my earnings were only $702. But we get to November of 23. They're saying I made $2,387 for November and then December as well. The exact same amount. I don't know where they're getting these numbers. But for November and December, for November it was $1,544. That's the gross amount. And then for December was $1,620. My deduction for November, standard deduction at 1,440 miles, was $943, which put my net earnings at $601. So I'm well below if they allow the deduction. But apparently, the point here is Social Security says, oh no, we don't allow deductions unless it's a medical device, okay, medications, co-payments, medical expenses. Okay, so every business in the United States is allowed business deductions. Every office, you deduct your office supplies, your computers, your paper, pencils, the ink cartridges, the electric bill, the lease on the building is all deductible. But Social Security says, no, we don't allow deductions. I believe I had 1 month that my deduction, and that was the first month I drove in December of 2022. At that time, I was in an overpayment collection. They took it all, 100%. So they don't have, they don't have limits like 50%, like the president said. And it came from 10 to 15% for an overpayment collection. Well, son of a bitch, Social Security can do whatever they want. You want to argue with it? Arguing with Social Security is like wrestling with a pig in mud. They like it. They laughed in my face. I could hear the lady in the background laughing. I'd be careful. Someday you do that to somebody, when you laugh in someone's face, it's like kicking the nuts. It's humiliating. Knowing that if you did that to them, you even make any kind of a general threat, you can be arrested by the goon squad. They kick down the door, here they come. But anyways, I'm in a tangled mess with this over a 2-year period. So far here in 2025, I've met their requirement, whatever the gross income is. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to be doing this much longer. October 1st, I start my new job as electric administrator. I don't have to keep screwing around with all this. I just get a 1099. And it's amazing how Social Security they go right up to the last month here in 2025. They can follow you every month, but they wait 2 years to do this. Now, when they did the first overpayment collection, I did an appeal on it. They never answered the appeal. Never a letter. I didn't know, am I kicked off forever? Because the payments just stopped. I lost my little apartment. I had waited 2 years living in the woods, and I finally got the only federal apartment, disabled apartment, ground level in the world. And I got it all on my own, and I ended up losing it all on my own. I had to have some income, and I didn't have any income then. I was indigent, reliant on this, and it's embarrassing. Nobody likes to admit they're indigent, but would I quit? Would I just throw the towel in? Well, at this point, my arthritis has gotten to a point I can't, I don't want to keep doing this either. It's just a big hassle. What happens is you go, you put all this effort in, and they took $8,000 from me already, a little north of $8,000, the last collection. So I lost anything I made. I lost it. And I suspect with the new administration, and it's funny, the last time this happened was the first administration, you know what I mean? When they were in. And they didn't want to hear my excuses and my problems and all that. So I really don't care anymore. I do the best I can. I never quit. I never gave up. To this day, I keep pushing forward. People with disabilities, the elderly, were chained to the ground with all these limits and all these complicated rules, and when I was making that, $2,300 a month, they still had not contacted me and said, here, you're kicked off Social Security forever or whatever the deal is. But they'll punish it. They send in the Punisher to clean your clock, to whoop your ass. And if you're relying on that money, I'm to say it again, don't go to work for while you're on Social Security disability. Just get a pound of weed and sell dime bags to your neighbors. That's what I would do. But anyways, I got to get going here. I got a doctor appointment and x-ray at the VA, so I got to stroll in there and get that taken care of. Anyways, God bless everybody, and I hope your life journey turns out good. And if you're disabled, the elderly, find a means of, buy stuff on Marketplace, flip it, sell it. That's the best thing to do. Something that's they can't track you. Everything's tracked now by some magical AI computer, and apparently all the claims now coming into Social Security disability, they're rejected. Every one of them is, you go get a lawyer. That's what. And for those that are really sick and really disabled being rejected, man, that's too bad. That's really sad. I hope you have family to let you stay there and take care of you, and, as opposed to being in the street sick. Oh, God help you. Anyway, signing off from the river. God bless everybody and have a good day.